you want it, how bad? The bothered person finds a way. Hi, my name is Kelly Theophil, and this is Live a Life You Love, the podcast, and I am your emotional intelligence coach. I help you go from simply surviving to thriving by teaching you how to manage your emotions and thoughts, and now using that information to create momentum in your life. Today, we want to talk about the battle of the very familiar issue that some of us face: priority versus passion. One of the greatest issues that comes up in our generation and really every generation. Do I pursue my passion or do I focus solely on my priority? And so we have this weird situation where you want to pursue your dreams, you want to pursue your goals, but you know there are bills that need to be paid. And for some reason, the two have struggled to coexist. Now, this conversation really is one about purpose, and that purpose meaning that why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And how does that why drive everything for me? And so I think there's this innate desire in all of us to want to pursue that purpose. We want to walk in a space where we know our why and we're dedicated to getting it done. The issue is that for a long time we think that one has to suffer in order for the other to thrive. But really and truly, the two can coexist. You can pursue your passion and still make priority or prioritize rather the things that are important in your life. So today is going to be very simple. I want to talk about the two of them. So let's tackle passion first. And when I mean passion, I mean in reference to your dreams, your goals, those desires that you have. Now, when we want to talk about pursuing passion, a lot of people link it to obviously pursuing your purpose. So what is that really? It is that thing that gets you excited, is that thing that makes you tick, is what you want to spend your time doing. If I were to sit in a room with you and ask you to talk about one thing that you thoroughly enjoy or that you would love to do for the rest of your life, most times it points to what your passion is. And so you can see yourself functioning in this arena. You think about it and you feel a sense of urgency, sometimes a sense of fulfillment. And that really is what your passion is. Now, what stops people then from running after their passions? Because I think that that's a conversation that we need to have. When you think about it, what makes you push pause on your pursuit of your purpose or your passion? For some people, we have to be honest, is a lack of resources. I am not going to pretend and say that sometimes what we want to pursue costs money. It costs something. And so we have to admit that sometimes there is a limitation in pursuing your passion because it costs. You have to be able to have the money, the time, and some of us don't have that. Now, if that is a case, like where you don't have the resources, there needs to be a conversation. What would it take to gain the resources legally? Please and thanks. How do I legally and ethically gain the resources as necessary? Some of us say, I don't have the money, but we don't go far enough to ask ourselves, how do I get myself in a position to gain said money? So we have to start seeing the lack of resources as the opportunity to get the resources. So don't just leave it there. Well, I don't have it, so I can't pursue it. I don't have it. So what are the necessary channels that I need to take to get it done? The second and the more important problem that I am seeing, the more I deal with clients, the more I deal with people, is a lot of people don't pursue their purpose or their passion because of a lack of proper planning. A lot of people run wild with their dreams, not realizing that, yes, you want to run with your dreams, but poor planning will limit proper execution. You have to be able to plan properly in order for your passion to be fulfilled. And so what does that look like? When you don't plan for the pursuit of your goals, you have a very limited view of what that passion could look like and how it can actually live out in your life. And as such, it results in you thinking that it's unreachable. But if you sit with pen and paper and have the vision to write out what this needs to look like, what your purpose could look like, what arenas, what channels, what areas that you need to focus on, then it becomes actually real for you. And so it only becomes real when you write it down. So you have to plan. So proper planning helps you see your purpose slowly become integrated in your life. When you are able to plan for it, you can see now, all right, I could add it in here on Wednesday. I can add it in here on Saturday. I can make room for it here where it's necessary. But you have to be willing to plan. You have to be willing to be prepared to do that. So One of the things I always tell people is you are ready to pursue your passion or your purpose when inactivity bothers you enough to do something about it. So if you're not doing something about it, then you're not bothered enough. The bothered person finds a way. You want it, how bad? So has your passion reached the point where it is bothering you enough that you are willing to put aside the time to plan for it? So that is your passion. The second part that I want us to talk about now, that is our priorities. And these are really the external factors. I have to do what I have to do. I have to go to work because bills have to pay. Because you don't live in spaces for free. Food is not off of love, hope, and prayers. You have to be able to have what is necessary to maintain your life. And so the problem is a lot of people assume that the pursuit of passion is only in the arena of work, and not realizing that you could have a regular job and still pursue your passion. So too many people come to me and assume that I'm going to tell them that they need to start a business. Not everybody built to be a business owner. You can be the best you as an employee with somebody else. And so this is not me saying, it's not a conversation, I'll leave your work because you need to pursue your passion. You can have a priority, have a regular job, and still pursue your purpose. So all of it is not going to manifest itself as a business owner. So I just burst in that bubble one time. Some of you are created to be that, but not all of us are called for that. So what are these external factors and responsibilities that are necessary that you actually have to manage and take control of? Above all else, the issue with priorities that I realize is people lack proper management. So the issue with passion is people lack proper planning. With priority, the issue is people lack proper management. Now, I want you to understand is that balance is not always possible. We like to tell people you need to learn how to balance. The truth of it is, at different stages of your life, different things are going to demand a higher priority. Some things are going to have to not suffer, but you're going to have to put it aside for a bit. And so you have to understand that not everything is going to be balanced. However, you can't afford to neglect certain things. And one of those certain things cannot be your passion. So we need to set our priorities right. We need to sit with them, and figure out, am I managing my priorities well? Do I have the necessary balance of it? You hear I said necessary balance, meaning it might not be equal, but it will be necessary. And so, question, are you good at managing your time? We all have the same amount of time in the day, but our priorities look different. So whatever your priority is, you need to make sure that you're allotting the proper time for whatever the priority is. So for example, those of you who are parents, your time looks different. Your time doesn't belong to you. Let's be very honest. If you're a parent, we understand that a large portion of your time goes into taking care of your children. And so we respect that. We understand that. So that is going to look different for you and in your house. However, there is still a need for all of us to make sure that we are using our time wisely. It doesn't mean that you squeeze everything out every hour, because in that there needs to be rest, and you know how I feel about rest. And so, are you managing your time properly? What are you doing in the time that you have? And so, this is for the person who needs to learn to say no. You can't, I said it before, you can't be all things to everybody. You have to learn to say no when necessary. And so, with prioritizing, we have to learn proper management. You can't eliminate all things, but you have to make space to facilitate other things such as your passion. So watch your time management. Watch how you're using your resources. Are you budgeting properly? Are you spending well? What is the quality of the relationships that you have? Management. And so sometimes you have to make a sacrifice, but it is necessary as you're in a building space. You have to be able to be willing to sometimes sacrifice it for a bit, because you know that as you build, things get better and it changes. And so, priority versus passion. Passion, it is a matter of proper planning. A lot of you have dreams stuck here, passion stuck here, but it will only become a reality if you're willing to sit down and plan properly and eliminate the excuses. Lack of resources, figure out how. Go through all the channels, have conversations, but plan. You need to be willing to plan. And then two, with priority management, take all the sectors of your life, see it in front of you again, write it down, and see what is working well and what is not working well for you, so that you know what needs to rearrange so that you can manage. So planning and management is what is necessary for passion and priorities to coexist. I would hate for either one to suffer in your life. And I really hope that this has given you the thought that, you know what, maybe I don't need to sacrifice one or the other, but maybe I need to now come to agreement within myself that they can exist and I deserve to pursue my passion while still prioritizing the necessary buckets in my life. So I am Kelly Theophil, and this has been Live a Life You Love. I hope that you gathered something that keeps you encouraged for the rest of the week. Make sure and do my homework. Sit down with this and get it done. So this has been Live a Life You Love. Thank you so much for always tuning in, and I will catch you on the next episode.